Right, we all know how shit these things are. These PCM version 3, whatever it is, just toilet. Picks up one radio station, Radio 1, pretty much nothing else, pointless. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it out and I'm going to have a go at adding a CarPlay CarPlay module to it. Right, this is how I think this comes out. I think just pull this out. Or not. Oh, that's one out. Yeah. Ooh, okay, that's really in there. Ah, yeah. I thought I was pretty sure that it just pulled out like that, but you can't be too careful. You don't want to break something there. That's sort of coming out. Hang on, that's. See, this bit is attached to it. There's chrome bits, or the aluminium bits. Oh, there we go. The aluminium bit was coming off the plastic bit. I was getting a bit like that, getting a bit concerned it was going to bend it. Obviously, if that gets bent, I reckon I can put a spot of glue on there. I don't think that's supposed to be loose like that. I think it's just these screws now, and then that just pulls out of there. I didn't get you in there, did you? What was I doing there? Oh, I think you might not have got that. I think the camera might have fallen down. Basically, that's in there. We just pulled it out by putting this little tool behind, so it's like hooks it like that, and then it just unclips. But my metal bit and the plastic bit seem to have parted ways a little bit there, so I just need to maybe put a spot of glue behind that and just bring them two back together again, because I don't think that's supposed to be loose like that. This is a TX15. Do these 4 little screws here, try not to lose any of them. Taking the key out so that it goes off. Obviously, I don't unplug it while it's switched on. Looks like it just pulls out. It's quite straightforward, and there's a few little plugs behind there. Oh, I think this has been out before. What does that say on the side there? Exchange part. That's broke at some point in the future, in the past then. So I'm just going to pull these connectors off. I'm going to take a quick picture of them so I can remember where they'll go. And we'll pull them off and get them out. Right, that's it all disconnected. This big plug, it looks like you can take them out individually, those plugs. They actually come out of there like that, like, you know, one at a time. But you can just take the whole lot out in one go. So I discovered that obviously it's going to be easy to take it all out in one go. That way then they stay in the right place. But quite a lot of wires going to this unit. And there is a bit of space in the back there, so that's good. I think there's a wiring loom in a little bit. So let's get this inside and have a look at the instructions on how to fit the CarPlay module. Right, so I'm sitting at my desk now because it's nice and clean and tidy in here, and this is electronic, so I want to make sure I get it right. This is the CarPlay module from Car ABC. Let's have a quick look inside. In here we've got a circuit board, sort of wiring loom adapter, oops, a new lid maybe for the stereo, some more wiring, more wiring, some ribbon cables, and the manual. Oh, what's that there? That's some sort of little cap. And here's the manual, so I'll have a quick read of this now and work out how we're going to get this fitted. Right, so I didn't film that bit, but I will go through exactly what I've done here. So there's 2 screws on the top, 2 little tiny Torx screws, and there's 2 Torx screws on the bottom. Let's just do that. Let's do it this way. Okay. This is the top of the radio. There's 2 torque screws there and there. Undid them. There's 2 torque screws there and there. Undid them. And then this, you like lever under these little tabs because they've got a little tiny finger on them that locks into that hole there and that hole there. And then that pops forward and you can gently sort of wiggle that because there's a board there. So don't go move it too much, but it hooks into there, into that little hook. So you kind of go sort of down and wiggle it off. The top bit levers off, essentially. So I put a screwdriver in and I just sort of pushed it like that and it levers and then hinges open like that. And I think this is some sort of DVD, but I think this is a DVD player because it looks like it's got a slot. So I think this is the DVD changer jobby. So that's how far I've got with it so far. So I just gently put that sort of down there. You can see there's an edge connector, ribbon cable there, and another one there holding that faceplate on. Now I think the motherboard has to go in there somehow, so I'm going to have a quick think about how we're going to do that. Okay, so that's the radio open. I've disconnected this cable, this ribbon cable. That blue bit there goes towards the front. So that's how it sort of slots in. All you have to do with these things is just sort of lift them up a little bit with your fingers on the edges, and that unlocks. It unlocks the ribbon cable, and then you can then remove the ribbon cable itself. So I'll show you on this one. I'll just put my finger that side and that side. It's quite difficult to get my fingers in there. Still, there you go. So I've lifted that up. Now that will just pull out like that. That's how easy they are to remove. And obviously these ones are just pull-upable ones. They're just there you go. So that one just comes off of there. And the same with this one. I'll just grab hold of that with my fingers, pull it off, and then this should then be pretty much entirely disconnected. Oh, there we go. What's holding that? Oh, there's another cable underneath. Look, there we go. Look, peaky. So let me just pull that one up. 1, 2, on those little, that's it, either side there, and gently wiggle that out, and then, yeah, there you go. There's the front. The front of the radio is completely detached now. I must say the instructions that came with this unit are woeful. I mean, they really are woeful. So I'm looking on YouTube, other people that have done this, and I am using my initiative to try and work out how this is going to go in there, because there's quite a few additional ribbon cables and wires. So don't rely on the instructions for this at all. That's one thing I'll say about this kit, is the instructions are pretty pointless. Okay, so I'm at the next step now. So there's 3 screws. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one here that need taking out. And these little brass posts need putting in their place. It's the shorter of them. The other ones are longer. There's, for some reason, they've put 6 in. I haven't got to the stage where I might need them yet. But it's the shorter ones that go in those 3 holes. This is the front of the radio as you look at it. Okay. So the 2 supplied ribbon cables go in like that, blue bits facing towards the white lock, and then you lock them in, as I'm just doing there. So they're in and they're locked. Right, this little Bluetooth antenna, wireless antenna thing is next. It pushes onto a connector just there. You have to push it quite hard. Make sure you've located it properly before you push down hard on it, because it is quite delicate. Right, these 2 cloth wrapped cables connect to the board here and here, and you literally just push them on. Make sure you push them in nice and firmly. They're locked in now. So the 2 cables coming up from underneath the new board go into these 2 slots here. I found it easier to support under this board with my finger while I was pushing down on the plugs, because there's no post here. So while you're pushing it, it does tend to flex a little bit. So yeah, they loop up and over and into here. And then the ones from the front display go into these 2 here. Okay, so you see I made a slight boo-boo there, because I had the front panel away from it. And I put it all together, and then I realised these 2 cables here, this one here, these thicker ribbon cables, are underneath the new board. They're not provisioned for on this board. So I had to take this back out again, plug them back in, and then put it back in again. And you use the original 3 screws that came out of there, and here to hold that new board in on top of those golden posts. Right, so this is the CD player. I've had to take it out of the old frame, and pop it into the new one, because I think the new one's got a hole in the back of it for you to route the cables out of. So that was a tricky little what's it to get that out of the old frame. I had to sort of shake it a bit and it kind of fell out, but there's a screw there, a screw there. This is the front, and then you've got another 2 screws there on the back. They're the ones that hold this CD changer mechanism into that frame. So you're going to have to change the frame, and this is why. It's because there's a hole there on this one. And if I look on the old one here, you'll see there's no hole, and I think there's these 2 cables to come through that cutout. Right, okay, so I've hooked that back on there. It hangs on those little hinges for ease of use, and then you have to kind of get that connector back in there, which was actually really tricky to get that back down in there. It probably would have been an idea to have done that first before putting this board in, but unfortunately, yeah, I didn't do it right. But I've managed to get it in there now by the looks of things. It looks like it's fully in there. I'm just going to double check it, but that's that last part of that done now. I need to route the cables through that hole at the back there. Right, that's the radio box back up again, just those screws all back in there, and 2 in the bottom. It's actually a bit easier to put it back together than it is to take it apart. The cables here, as you can see, are routed out of the back. I might put a little cable tie around them just to hold them together and out of the way. There is plastic over all of this, and you're going to want to peel that off because it's over this vent, which is probably important because there is actually a fan inside here. Let's turn this round. Yeah, there's a fan there. So obviously if you cover these holes up, it's going to affect the cooling, so pull that off. Right, back out in the car again now, and you get this sort of harness with the additional module. And what you've got to do is you've got to take these are fibre optic cables. They have to come out the original plug, and then they slot in the back of this one. Don't forget to do them. I think they're quite important. I'm sure the audio might go along them. There's a couple of other little plugs. These are like BNC connectors, or whatever you call them. They're like antennas, perhaps. I don't know, one of them's a GPS antenna, and one of them's probably a radio antenna. There's another one over here. And then there's this like little purple one. There's 4 of them in total. Right, so there is a microphone that comes with this, and I saw a few posts that said that the original mic doesn't work with the car. So what I'm going to do is, because it's raining at the moment, as you can see by the window, I'm going to shove it all sort of down the side here, to the right. There's plenty of space. I can get my hand down in there, and I can feel behind this bit. I don't want to take all this off at the moment, but I will. So what I'll do is I'll shove all the microphone down there, and then at some point I can pull it through. I can pull it around here, I can pull it up here, and then I'll try and take it across and put it where the original mic was. Right, this is the last cable. This goes into one of these. So one of these is a power cable, which goes into this one here. So that's the multicoloured cable and the multicoloured cable, and the one that's sort of black and yellow, you know, the minion one, that goes into this one here. And this has got multiple different things on it. It's got a USB port. It says camera 12 volt, ground, 360 RXD. Well, that, and if you know what that is, then let us know in the comments. I got a clue. Rear CVBS, and then front CVBS. What's that? I ain't got a clue. Wouldn't have a scoob. So I'm going to leave all of this disconnected at the moment. They've got little caps over these wires, but they just easily pull off. So I don't really want to stuff it behind the dash in case one of these comes off and then shorts out behind there somewhere, because that would be a bloody nightmare. So I might do a bit more research into what this is for. I mean, I guess maybe there's an addition to have a camera added to it or something. I'm not too bothered about that for now. I might just shove it in the glove box. I just want to get this connected up now and just see if it works. Right, as you'd expect, now that there's a million plugs behind there, it won't actually go back in all the way. I'm going to have to try and reroute the plugs, because obviously what would go back in the back of the stereo is now connected to another fly lead in there, and yeah, it won't go in any further. Right, it's in, but it's not back properly. Right, but I thought I wanted to test it to make sure it works. There's no point in faffing around shoving it all back in there and only to find out it doesn't work. So what you're supposed to do, I've turned the radio down so there's no music playing, because I don't want any copyright infringements. So if you press and hold info, oh, there we go. I've cheated ever so slightly because I have actually tested this before. I filmed it because I didn't want to look like a tit. But this is basically what you'll be presented with. You just go to iOS. It comes up with pairings. You pair it with your phone. And then you get your CarPlay. So there it is. It doesn't swipe, I noticed. It does actually kind of work there, look. WhatsApp, look at that. It's not as responsive as you'd imagine, but go tune in. Let's have a look, see if we can get some music. Yeah, that's doing F all, isn't it? That's good. I don't know if that's my phone though, or whether that's the, oh, it could be my phone because I'm filming. I don't know if it'll do it while I'm filming. So let me just, yeah, stop filming and try again. Okay, turns out that the reason it wasn't playing on tuning is because I was recording on my phone and it's the same phone that's connected to the CarPlay. So while it's filming, it doesn't seem to want to play. And I think you probably noticed that it's gone orange up here, which is, it's activated the microphone. I think it might even be recording my voice through the car's microphone, not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's all working as you'd expect from a normal CarPlay instance. Everything else is still here. So if I go press info, I've still got the info, still got the trip computer thing. Obviously navigation still works, the phone still works, and it is connected. So everything actually still works. It connects to CarPlay using Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth, so it can, I guess it can still use both, I don't know, but yeah, it obviously all still works. More than happy with that. What a great upgrade for a Porsche, an old Porsche. Alright, this is the last bit. I had to click this bit back in. I had to glue it because it come apart, but it just literally just pushes in there like that, all the way around, and that's it. Right, I'm going to end the video with a little demo of the CarPlay. So let's put the key in. There you go. Literally instant. Didn't have to do anything. So I've already set it up, obviously, to connect to it. As you can see, it works pretty much straight away. Let's put the lights on, and everything still lights up as you'd expect. So I've not dislodged any of the wiring, and I'm pleased to see that. But everything works perfectly. So I go into Apple Music, I can pick up whatever I want to listen to on there, and I won't play any music because if I play music, then it comes up on YouTube and says it's copyright infringement, which is obviously a bit irritating. But trust me when I say it does work, everything works perfectly well. I go into tuning radio, and I normally listen to things like Capital Dance, Capital Chill. There you go, it's just going to... Alright, so it's a bit dark now, as you can see from the earlier video, because I was out here messing about until late getting it all sorted out. I did have a bit of a problem with getting the wiring to go in behind the actual unit itself, because there's very little space in there. So I had to set the glove box down and kind of wiggle my hand around in there to kind of place it in order to get the PCM unit all the way back, which was a bit of a pain. I must say it took about 20-25 minutes to do that. The microphone that I did shove behind the dashboard, I'm not sure I need to use that because I did actually have a phone call earlier, which I answered. I spoke to my wife and she said she can hear me perfectly clear. So I'm guessing it must be using the one that's built into the car. Other than that, brilliant. Works really, really well. Nothing to complain about at all, other than the instructions that come with the thing are pretty sparse, if I'm completely honest. They give you a couple of sheets of paper and it doesn't really tell you how to put it together. You've got to kind of guess or look on YouTube. Handily enough, I've done that for you. So if you want to get ahead and get one of these, have a look down in the comments, because I'll put a link to the website down. I think they're going to do a discount code on the website of the same name as my channel, so Frenchy. If you put that in there, you probably get a bit of money off, and if you follow my instructions, that'll show you how to put one in. So happy buying. Hopefully it goes well for you. See you on the next video.